What's up, Saberhood? It's Justin from Saber Bay. This is a sales video for a 89 Sabers NeoPixel with Teensysaber version 3 or 3.2. I forgot the subcode. It has a Saber Essential speaker. The Teensy is there. Power switch, and it has a 3D printed chassis that I printed. It's reinforced with 440 rods. To get to the removable battery, you would hold the hilt, gently pry out, pushing against the hilt like that, and you can get to the battery right there, which you could pop out with a guitar pick or something plastic. The switches are on the chassis, so you could have the chassis out while you test it. It'll come with a right angle USB, so you could change the configurations there. I've added a sound fonts and a lot of blade styles, so you may not need to add anything, but if you do, you will have to read up on Frederick's site, the maker of the Teensy OS, to understand how to add a font or change the blade style, or you could go to the forums for that. It's not as easily plug and play as Plector Labs products, but it is doable. So I spent a lot of time on this configuration file. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Now, a couple things I changed about the configuration was I made it so there's no spark blade tip, because the problem I find with that is if you are doing a lockup, you'll have a lockup here, you'll have a lockup here, you'll have a lockup here, but as soon as you pass it there, then it goes a spark tip. The problem with spark tip is not everyone's blade is the same length, so if this blade breaks and you have to put another one in, that spark tip would not work, and you would be doing lockup with your saber angled down and you would see nothing. So I just made lockup work all the way. Also, with everyone's help, I was able to do a couple things, able to dial in the sensitivity so it wasn't clashing by itself, and auto power turn off. When you click the button, it won't turn it off. This is the power of the aux switch. You have to actually hold it down, do a long press to turn it off, because too often I was playing with it, pressing the button and turn off. So this is the auxiliary or the selection switch when the saber is off. So selecting the different fonts. Holding this down also starts an audio file, so each sound font has its own audio file. And that's the activation. So it's a very short blade depth, so around an inch. So what I did is I used a heat sink, one of the K4 heat sinks that I got. So this is sitting in there like that, and then the NeoPixel connectors are inside with the 3D printed adapter that I made. And then I took a Vader's Vault blade and I added the connector inside so it slides in, makes good contact, but then there's also more support since the heatsink is sitting in the blade. So when you tighten it, it's pushing against something solid on the other side. Let's go ahead and get the blade in. Nice and snug. You want to make sure you get it all the way down, making good contact with the connector. If you ever notice anything weird in the color or artifacts, meaning some dots going like that, there may be dust on the connector or a low battery charge. So you don't want to remove the blade, clean off the contacts, and then try again. So see, nice and solid. So here's the activation. And have a spark tip option on. So the way spark tip works is when it ignites, you'll see white from the flare all the way to the base. It's a really cool effect. course, to activate the lockup, you will hit the saber and hold the switch. Okay.
Young Ray.
So I can hold down to get a song. Get it a little darker in here. So this is Keith Sith's fonts. It's the Lord Vader one, or the Rogue One Vader. The audio file is really cool. So I know it looked like there was shadowing there, but it's actually not. It has to do something with the reflection, because it's bright all the way through. And some sound fonts have force sounds. To get those, you hold down the auxiliary. It's easier to hear it, let's see, without the music. Here's the force sound. So this one actually has the Imperial March. And the Vader breathing. Okay.
Luke Skywalker.
And that's a great green. Another great thing about the smooth swing is the spins just sound so good. One of the advantages of live mixing. The live mixing audio files. All right.
Luke Skywalker.
So, I'm Luke. Happy music. Whoops, it's a lamp. So I wanted to light blue blade here. or all of Luke A New Hope, or Obi-Wan.
Kylo Ren.
I have a couple unstable blades here. Let's see this one. I believe this one's a flame one. Nice purple blade. All right.
Young Rey.
Nice Viridian blade. That's pretty bright, it's like even hard to pick up.
Teensy.
Got a light. There we go. A little better.
Light.
So more of an aqua blade. And this one, there's more sparks in it. So it's like a flame with really quick sparks in it. It looks really good in person. It was hard to get the lockup that I wanted, but I was able to dial it in. I still have the flame effect. Even blue gets it unstable. Unstable Luke. Or creepy uncle, some would say. Okay. This one's orange, the other one's more yellow, kind of hard to see though. This is a gradient blade, so it's red to green. Another gradient blade, blue to red. another gradient, cyan to green yellow. And there's rainbow. Hard to see, but looks great. It's much more vibrant in person than rainbow. This is another unstable. This one has hump flicker mixed in with the flame, I believe. Sometimes it's better to see like that. In person, you can see a lot more than you do on the video when it comes to those kind of effects. But you can see in the reflection how different spots of the blade are. The blue version of that same one. And this one's a white noise blade. It's a white noise gradient, red to blue. More of a flame type blade than unstable. But the reflection really shows you more of what you see. There you go. You have to swing into it.
Luke Skywalker.
Another rainbow blade. Orange flame. This is, I believe it says Star Wars when you spin it around with a slow exposure.
Smooth Jedi.
And that's the battery level. So getting kind of low. Been playing with it for a couple hours. Or, not a couple hours, but playing it, turning it on, going back to it. And back to the original one. Alright, I'll be posting this up for sale on Facebook and a couple different saber groups. If you have any questions, let me know. I won't be taking any requests to change anything on the saber. It does take some learning to configure the Teensy board and the Teensy OS. That's why I made such a large configuration file with tons of different options. But as you can see, the 89 sabers are definitely a great build. Has hidden pommel vents, so you don't need any speaker holes to get a lot of sound out of this, because sound is coming out of here. And also this has hidden vents. You could see through it, see? But you could really see through it that way. It's a really great design. Alright, thanks for watching, and keep on sabering.